What's it like for you guys after your time here having the senior day ceremony, and how was that rush of emotions?
I feel like they haven't really hit yet, especially since it wasn't really the last home game. When I was walking out with my family, I definitely got a little teary-eyed, and I told my parents they can't say anything to me yet because my mom started telling me she was proud of me, and I was like, nope, not yet. And coming out, I think I was just relieved to win, so wasn't thinking about all those emotions yet. But we're about to have a celebration, so the videos and all that, seeing my family's gonna hit a little different.
Yeah. Macy Brown this entire week has been like, I'm crying before I go to bed. I'm crying in class. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm like, we lock in. We're gonna win the game. We got to win this game first, and then you can be as emotional, silly, whatever as you want. But yeah, I think our focus was mainly on winning the game, and now we have a whole celebration that's a little bit more sentimental. So I'm excited about that. I had a bet with my dad about how quickly my grandma would start crying. Oh my gosh! Immediately walked up to her in the tunnel, and she was. But no,
Dang it, Sydney.
yeah, I know. But no, those people have been by my side since I was playing AAU ball. So to have them here today was really special.
Yeah, I guess after that ceremony and then transitioning so quickly to go play a game, is there almost that oh crap moment in your head, you had all your family out on the court, such an emotional ceremony, and then that moment oh, we got to go get a game to go play and go win.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty locked in. Like Greta said all week, she was like, I'm gonna try as hard as I can not to think about it too much before the game. That's why I was telling my family to not say sentimental things, because we knew senior day can kind of get ruined if you don't win. So we got the win, and thankfully, so now we can have fun.
Transitioning to talking about the game, you guys had great defense tonight. What were your thoughts on your guys' defense and kind of the matchup with Marple?
Yeah, it was, they kind of were subbing in and out a lot, so we kind of did the same thing. So we had to change our strategy a little bit depending on who was in. There was a lot of different matchups, but just kind of trying to throw different looks at them. And especially with me being very undersized, I kind of had to dance around her and make her work a little bit. But obviously she's a very strong player and does what she does and is very consistent at it. She had a great game. But yeah, I think Yulia went in and kind of gave her a different look, which was important. And then Jordan was on her for a couple of possessions. So having a few people different statures, being able to kind of give her different looks is important. And then yeah, so.
As far as reflecting back, can you think back of previous senior day ceremonies? I'm trying to think. Jordan would have been Nas, right? Would have been your freshman year, and then and Greta same any previous ones
Yeah, I remember all of them actually. I think every time I was on that baseline, I cried watching the seniors walk out, and in our shoot arounds, people always say kind words to the seniors. That always gets me emotional too. But the day's always just special, and I'm just happy that we are the two seniors this year. That was something I thought of coming into this year, and Greta's my best friend, and I get to do this with her, and it's just been so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's rare to have only two seniors. I feel like there's usually a group of 4 or 5 in a class coming in, and so I think it's cool because we were the two that sort of made it out through all the craziness the past few years, and we really wanted to be here. And I think somebody yesterday asked us, what is it like having you two as the leaders? And it was kind of it was nice because we were on the same page about what we wanted the culture to be going into this season, and it's just easy. We balance each other out really well, and we're best friends, we're roommates, we live together, so it's just easy. I guess that's the best way to put it. So it's been fun so far. And yeah, previous senior nights, I think you think it's emotional because those are the people you kind of look up to. For example, Maddie Nolan or Emily Kaiser, those were kind of my girls my sophomore year, that I looked up to for advice, especially being new to this team. So I think, hopefully we kind of had that same effect on some of the younger girls. I hope they miss us. Maybe. We'll see. So,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Back to Kaiser for a second. How do you guys approach that matchup when you're at such a size disadvantage? Merkel.
Sorry,
I was like,
Kaiser.
Emily Kaiser,
no.
Is she here?
Well, we were thinking about playing zone. We actually prepared zone, and we never played it. But they were kind of subbing in and out a lot, so we didn't want to confuse ourselves too much, and we kind of wanted to stay consistent to what we were doing. And if they were just going to switch up their matchups, we kind of were doing that as well to match what they were doing. But she was strong, and we had to essentially put 2 people on her all the time. But I mean, I feel like we contained her pretty well. But again, she's going to get her buckets. I mean, she's a strong player, and like I said before, she's consistent in what she does.
Penn State only has 1 conference win on the season, but they've been in some close games. How do you approach playing a team that's 1-14 in the conference, but can kind of keep games close?
Yeah, you can't count anyone out. I mean, they beat Ohio State, who's 3rd in the conference right now. So we knew that coming in today, we had to be really locked in. And I mean, we had a loss to Wisconsin, and they're in the bottom of the conference, and we didn't want that to happen again. So we really just wanted to lock in practice and make sure that we weren't taking this game for granted and just coming in thinking we were going to win without working hard.
Sal had 24 tonight. It seems like pretty much any night she wants, she can go off. Just what have you guys seen from her growth this season, and how impressive is that?
I think coming into the season, she was already such a mature player, especially since she's had experience playing at the highest level. I mean, she went and played at the Olympics this summer, which was awesome. But just seeing her grow even more, I mean, that's what's so cool about these really talented players is they want to work really hard and keep growing and keep getting better. Like, I don't think they've hit their ceiling yet. So to see her get better in different areas of her game and continue to shine and have these big games is awesome. It's great for us, and it shows that really on any night anybody could have a 20, 30-point game.
Second to last home game, have you guys had any chance kind of to reflect on the season at all so far that you've had?
I feel like all we do is reflect nowadays.
On the
We're
couch.
so old and wise.
Sit on the couch and reflect.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the season, I think about Big Ten Media Day, and no one cared to ask us questions.
Nobody.
You guys were there, and that was it.
That was it.
Just thinking about how far we've come, and thinking about last year, how we had 8 conference wins in regular season. Was it 8?
I think we were 9-9.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
we've already surpassed.
So
that.
we've surpassed that with 2 left. Better, I think, than we were last year. Been in some really close games with some really talented teams, and I think if we get over the hump, we can make a really deep run. So it's been a great journey, and this year's been really fun, and it's been fun to prove people wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even Coach after the game was coming up to us remember, when at the beginning of the year, nobody was going to believe in us. Everybody was going to doubt us. I mean, all of our players left. We had all these freshmen coming in. We weren't sure how they were going to be, right off the bat at this level. And it's just been cool to kind of prove a lot of people wrong and just have overall a really enjoyable season.
And then you guys both got going offensively tonight. For each of you guys individually, what did you feel was working?
Yeah, I mean, I thought when their post was in, she couldn't really guard Greta or me. So, barbecue chicken. No, I'm just kidding. But I think we just took advantage of that. That's why they had to sub so much in the last quarter. But I mean, they went into their zone, and Greta was hitting those mid-range shots like she does every single day. And so they had to come out of it. And then I was able to just get some wide open threes. And luckily I was hitting tonight. So I just think we executed our plays really well and didn't get frantic when they changed their defense.
Yeah.
Jordan, you mentioned Ohio State's 3rd in the standings. Is that something that you look at, the standings going into this Big Ten tournament, or how much are you guys focused on that?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I look at it every game I watch because the announcers are talking about it. But it's really important. I mean, I don't know if the fourth seed is attainable for us right now with our loss to Maryland, but the 5 seed is still up for grabs, I think. So our next 2 games are really, really important, and every single game matters in the Big Ten, and you kind of realize that towards the end of the season, I feel like. But it's a gauntlet every single night, and we're ready for the next 2.